Even though income producing activities are vital to the financial success of our business, all too often we push our IPAs to the back burner. And many times when asked, people aren't even sure what exactly their IPAs are. So if you want to learn a little bit more about what daily tasks would be considered an IPA, stay tuned. Hi everyone, welcome back to METV. This is part 2 of a 3-part video series where we're discussing income producing activities. In the first video, I went a little bit more in depth on what an IPA actually is and why it is so vital to the financial success of our business. In the third video, I'm going to share with you step-by-step instructions on everything that you need to know to participate in our 30-day IPA challenge. And I promise you, you will not regret it. The IPA challenge is set up to help catapult your business to the next level. So first, let's talk about what an IPA is not. Okay, I'm going to give you at least just one example of an activity that is not an IPA. So I have been speaking with several people about this IPA challenge because I've been prepping for it for the last couple of weeks. And one of the daily tasks that I've been told by several people that they do is that every single day they go on Facebook and they put their company name out there and a link to their store. And then these same people are asking me, but why do you think that I'm not selling? Well, you're not selling because throwing your information out into the Facebook hemisphere and praying that somebody latches onto it and says, oh my gosh, this is a product I've been waiting for all my life, I must buy it today. That's an unlikely success story. In my book, when you do that, that is called vomit marketing. That is not an income producing activity. Actually, that's not marketing at all. Think about how sales pitchy it sounds when somebody does that and you reading their feed and they're just constantly trying to sell you something. It's a turnoff. So we turn around and we do the same thing, and then we wonder why our businesses aren't where we were hoping that they would be by now. So I really wanted to touch upon that particular agenda item, I guess, or a task that I see people doing over and over and over again, because putting your information out there, I mean, aside from being sales pitchy, aside from the fact that it's just never ever going to work, and I've heard people have success stories, I sure have, but ask yourself this: if you do that type of promotion on your social media platforms, how often has it worked for you? Even if you heard the success story, ask them, well, how often does that work for you? You're lucky if you have, this miracle success story. But in truth, in general, it's never going to work. You're never going to realize all of your dreams by just throwing your link and your website out there 20 times a day. If that was the case, I would literally auto schedule it to go out every 5 minutes on my Facebook feed and I'd be rolling in dough, right? But I'm not, because it doesn't work like that. Okay, so enough about that. Now let's talk about what IPAs are. I want to give you a few examples in a few different industries so that hopefully it'll help you better determine what your own IPAs are. So the first one is for an author, and I really wanted to discuss author because I actually know quite a few authors. So the first one is to contact publishing houses. Contact every publishing house in your state, and when you're done, contact every single one in the country, and when you're done with that, go international. In other words, tell yourself you're going to contact 100 publishing houses, and when you're done with that, keep going. Imagine if Instead of throwing out your a link to your store you spent every single day calling a publishing company, odds are that you're going to find greater success putting your product, service, or message in front of the eyes of someone that can help you that way. So just to be clear, an income producing activity, when you're done with it at the end of the day, doesn't mean that you've got a big deposit to make into your bank. It means that you're doing the task that you need to do to put your product, service, or message in front of the eyes of your potential customers. Okay? You're setting yourself up to reach your goals and to make money selling your product, service, or message. Okay? All right, so the second thing that an author can do is contact bloggers. Contact bloggers that do book reviews. There's hundreds of them out there. You can even offer them an autographed book. So they can do a blog review and then they can do a second one as a giveaway. Now you got two for the price of one. The next one is follow up with leads. There are tons of book fairs out there that authors could participate in. Make sure that you have a way to collect leads that day, even if the book fair doesn't provide you with any, so that you can follow up with them. And here's another side note on trade shows or craft fairs, book fairs, any type of event like that. It's not just the guests that come through the doors and that might or might not visit your table that are a lead. Every single vendor in that location is also a potential lead, and sometimes an even better lead. I produced trade shows for years, but even when I was just a participant, one of the things that I did was arrive a few hours early so that I could be set up, and then as each vendor arrived, I can just quickly share my contact information, talk for a minute or two about what I had going on at the time, and then I would follow up with them later, same way I did the leads of the guests that came to that event. So that's just a food for thought. All right, the next one, a wedding planner. So if you are a wedding planner, follow up with leads from a wedding trade show. Like I said, I produced trade shows for years, and I think that roughly about 5%, and that's being generous, of the people that participated as a vendor in a wedding trade show followed up with their leads. Now that one is terrible, because not only are you not doing your income producing activity, but you've spent money on participating in this show. Sometimes, and I would say most shows, come with a pretty lofty price tag. So to not follow up, it's not just a waste of time, it's a waste of money. The next thing you can do as a wedding planner is contact all your old customers. So it's very unlikely that your ex-customers are going to come back 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times for you to plan their weddings. They might come back if they want an anniversary party or a birthday party, if you do that kind of event as well. But what they can do is provide you with referrals. So contact all your past customers with an incentivized referral program. Offer them an invitation, an exclusive invitation to a cocktail party if they give you X amount of leads, or mail them a free sample. Any sort of incentive, something that sounds good to them, and in exchange you get your leads, and then you follow up, because following up with your leads is almost always an income producing activity. Okay, insurance. I know quite a few people that sell insurance or are involved in the insurance world. So here's an IPA. Start with everyone that you know. So start with your phone, A to Z. Call them and let them know that you are giving away a free complimentary review of their current insurance, because most people already have insurance. So you let them know, hey, I've been able to help a lot of people and give them better options. And I'll let you know once I do the review what we can do for you. Now, in some cases, you're not going to be able to help them. Maybe they already have the best insurance that's available to them at the time. If that's the case, ask them for referrals. But if you are able to help them, how excited are they going to be? In both cases, ask for referrals, follow up with those referrals, and make sure that you contact your customers frequently. And that goes for just about every industry. And while that may not sound like an income producing activity, having some method of contacting your customers might sound like it falls under customer service, but what it really is it's fortifying your relationship with that customer. Customers forget. I'm going to give you an example. Just today, one of my insurance friends shared that his own sister bought insurance from someone else because she completely forgot that he sells insurance. So my first reaction to that is, boy, you were not doing your income producing activities, or she would know that you sold insurance. Now obviously that could happen, but let's try to avoid it. Another idea for an insurance person, and really for anyone, is to create a collateral piece. So here's a postcard that I created for one of my clients, one of the ones that sells insurance. This person in particular also sells pet insurance. So we created this card, which is, I think it came out very cute. And here's the back of it. Make sure you can see it. But producing this card is not an income producing activity. Designing it is not an income producing activity, and certainly having it printed and sitting on your desk and waiting for someone to come in and kind of grab it is not an income producing activity. But visiting every single vet in the area, every single pet hospital, and every single pet shop, and letting them know that you have insurance for pets is an income producing activity. Direct sellers. So an IPA for a direct seller would be a booking call. So whether your company does in-home demonstrations or you have a larger space where you invite people for your displays, getting people to come and get their eyes on your product, service, or message is the IPA. And for direct sellers and salespeople in general, that usually means getting marketing on the phone. Okay, so many of you know that I own and manage my own marketing and public relations firm. So for me, an IPA is that I often do is that I will contact local networking organizations and people that do like business breakfast, and I offer myself as a free speaker. You can do that whatever your industry is. Just come and speak as someone that can share knowledge and educate in your own field. But for me, I call these organizations, I offer myself as a free speaker, and I come in and I'll do a presentation on how business people can do X type of marketing. Right? So that part is not an IPA, but what is an IPA is that at some point towards the end of the presentation, I will discuss a product or a service or a gadget that I have monetized that I can share with them there or follow up with them later, and it will help them better market themselves. And it's usually related to the topic that I discussed earlier, right? But it could be something as, for more information, sign up for this, free webinar, or for more information, sign up for this, this download. It's a $39.99 ebook that's going to revolutionize the way you do marketing. So that's one of the ways that I make money. And for me to make money doing that, my IPA is getting on the phones and making those phone calls so that I can get in front of that audience, so that I can present my product and my service or the message or whatever I have going on at that time. So anyway, I hope that this video helped you. They were specific to some industries, but I hope that you were able to take these ideas, massage them, turn them into your own IPAs. And if you still have difficulty figuring out what your IPA is, well, that's what the IPA challenge is for. We'll be tuning in, like I said, every day for the entire time of the challenge, and I'll be tuning in several times a day. And of course, you can tweet me any of your questions, and I'll be happy to help you figure out what your IPA is. So that's it, you guys. Hopefully these IPA examples were enough to give you ideas that you could maybe massage and turn into your own checklist or bullet pointed list of what your own IPAs are. And of course, if you have any questions, you can contact me via Twitter and of course on Periscope during our daily check-ins, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that I can during the scopes. Our next video coming up is going to be a step-by-step of everything that you need to know to participate in that IPA challenge. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Give it a thumbs up if you thought it was helpful. And if you did think it was helpful, be sure to share it with your team members, your employees, or anyone that you think might need a little bit of help realizing their dreams and their goals, which is pretty much everyone, I think.